Kathy Gonzalez is a motivated, dynamic, and vivacious development professional with over a decade in nonprofit and for-profit management. Her experience has given her the privilege of leading and developing leadership teams within the American Cancer Society, Susan G. Komen, and currently the Foundation Fighting Blindness as a national event manager. Ooh, she covers the Dallas and Fort Worth, Texas, Seattle, Washington, and Orange County and San Diego markets. She has led and developed several volunteer leadership teams and executed many successful volunteer-driven events in her tenure. Tenure. She also practices and participates in yearly personal and professional development projects through Landmark Worldwide. Great company. Her strong skill sets are based in constituent relationship building, leading and developing teams of volunteers, major gifts, recruiting volunteers, sponsors, and corporate partners, operations, fundraising, and event production planning and experience. Oh my goodness gracious. Are you ready to rock this, Kathy?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
She is excited. All right. Well, we're bringing you on right now. You're live. Thank you so much for coming on today. We're going to have a lot of fun, and I'm excited.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Chris.
Absolutely. So let's dive in before we get to kind of what we're going to be talking about today, service-based mindset, and maybe that will come up in this, but share a little bit more about your journey with our audience so that they can know you a little bit better, get to know you a little bit better, and hear about maybe some of the lessons or challenges that you've experienced along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So my journey to now has been really interesting. I actually started completely in the for-profit realm with a media and communications job, and that was incredible. One of the best mentors I think I've had, and really a great place to develop. And at that time, my grandma was kind of battling breast cancer, so I said, she had a very volunteer-oriented spirit, and she shared that with our family. She's amazing. And so I thought, well, I'm going to volunteer with the American Cancer Society because they seem like the most obvious choice, and they're really giving back to what she's affected with right now. So I jumped in there, was developed, met some really amazing leaders, and they shared a lot of what leadership looked like from a volunteer standpoint in the community. And it was the first time that I remember not having a problem asking for anything, in the sense that it's like my grandma. I'm going to ask for anyone to donate, to get involved, to help, because she is just this fire in our family. So that journey took me through a bunch of volunteer leadership, and I really was plugged into the community that I was a part of. Got to know everyone around me, build from myself to the outside, and share what the mission was, and got them all involved. And we fundraised, and we had fun, and we did this 24-hour Relay for Life event, which is crazy. I mean, you're just up for like a whole day, but you're so involved with what's happening, and you're so lit up by everything that's going on around you, and the fact that so many people are affected with this disease is incredible. So that was the springboard to really getting in touch with the fact that felt more rewarding than going to work every day. And my mentor at the time was like, there are careers in that field. And so we had these really open conversations about it, applied, they were rigorous. And I was with the American Cancer Society for 5 years, and that was incredible. And since then, I really had a passion for research, because that is what brings treatments, preventions, and eventually cures. Science is really the key behind driving factors. And I really, bringing us up to speed to now with Foundation Fighting Blindness, I really appreciate that there's open communication that one day we hope to be out of business. Because that means that there is a reality that this world exists with zero blindness in it. So I hopped over from ACS to FFB because I saw how science forward they were. And that really just spoke to me, spoke to, your integrity is out there at play. I wanted to share with everyone the science that was moving so quickly, that is moving so quickly. And so that's kind of like brought me up to speed here. I grew up in California. Basically, I was born in Costa Rica, grew up out here, I've been here forever, since I was 4. My family is amazing. My mother is one of my mentors and one of my best friends. So yeah, that's just like a little bit about me. I have a dog who's awesome. And she will be there with me at the walk on Saturday as well.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it sounds like from the very beginning, you had a reason to develop these skills of asking for money, of being in this nonprofit world, of, asking for money in a good way because you're supporting a cause. And it sounds like maybe if it wouldn't have been for such a good cause, your grandma, who was this fire within your family and kept everyone's souls, ignited and connected and all that kind of stuff. If it weren't for that, then maybe you would have been a little bit too shy or something. You would have been in your own head to be able to ask for that kind of stuff.
Totally.
Wow.
Totally.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you moved on. You had a mentor who helped you really take an objective look at, would it be more fulfilling for you to be in this nonprofit world? And then you experienced that, and you basically found a home that was the most fulfilling for you because of the research, because of what you were capable of doing and what you are now capable to do at Foundation Fighting Blindness. And it sounds like just everything is unfolding perfectly for you.
Yeah, it's really been an incredible journey. And especially when you take a look at what's happening around you, we have these vision seminars in all of our markets where it's completely free to the public. The doctors are sharing what's happening, to hear there's so many clinical trials, and to really, you not only build relationships with donors and sponsors to raise that key research money, but you understand that the volunteers, those are your real leaders, because they are in the community, like sharing their hearts, really embedding the importance of what you're doing. And without them, it doesn't work. It's amazing. They're amazing.
Wow. So you got that connection and identity as a volunteer, and you're like, I see what they're doing, and I'm just so connected with them. I want to empower them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So now that you're at Foundation Fighting Blindness, I want to hear a little bit more about what is the mindset that drives the company and putting on these events. I want to hear more about why you bought into their vision and how they operate. I'm curious.
Absolutely. So the Foundation Fighting Blindness has been around since 1971. It was established. Okay. And they're the largest private resource producing, treatments, preventions, and cures for any vision-robbing diseases, specifically retinal degenerative diseases. And there's a whole spectrum from, age-related macular degeneration to retinitis pigmentosa to Stargardt's to Usher's syndrome, and they affect all age ranges. It's a very broad spectrum, and I really took some time to find a place that was so on fire about the science and so forward about it. And that is really how it landed for me. When I saw what they were doing with their clinical trials, they have over 100 human clinical trials right now, for young and for older. The progress is what attracts me and attracts a lot of people to really participate, spread the word, get involved. Without the momentum of a promise that a cure is coming, it's very hard to share something like this, and there are a couple of our members that I've had the privilege of getting to know over the last couple years. They have children that are affected. They have family members that are affected that now have the first crack open of hope for their vision to be restored, for there to be a clinical trial that addresses any of the degenerations in their specific gene. I mean, it's just incredible, really, what's happening. So, yeah, it's been one of those things where it speaks to how fast they're moving forward. Um, and we're just like, we're along for the ride, I think, with the science. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. It does. And it sounds like progress is what the company promises, the organization
Yeah.
promises. Is a nonprofit a company technically?
It's an organization.
Organization.
You could call it a company, but yeah, it's just strictly speaking a nonprofit. Any 501c3 falls under that category.
Okay, cool. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to look up those definitions of what classifies something as a company and an organization. Anyways, so you saw that they were making progress, and you wanted to be a part of something that was actually making a difference,
Mhm.
and raising the funding and the financing is also making that difference. So, how does being a part of community come into not only your life and how you make the decisions that you make, but also being a part of Foundation Fighting Blindness?
So community, wow, that's a great question. It comes into my life in a lot of aspects,
Hmm.
and it's almost like subconscious sometimes.
Hmm.
The people that you meet through your volunteers are clearly the community around them. And then gradually, as you get to know them, sometimes you'll find those leaders within those groups of people that maybe this volunteer didn't realize was a leader. And then you become connected to that person, find out and discover about them. Do they have strong skill sets? Are they passionate? Has this just been something that they've never realized they could be a part of? And it's like by extension, I become a part of that community. So my community experience has expanded exponentially because I absolutely feel like part of each community that I work with. And I realize the importance of community as I'm working with all of these incredible people in Seattle, in Texas, in Orange County and in San Diego. Community is something that brings power to anything that really needs to happen, that may not have happened before. If you share and excite people and really get them to what's at the root of why you're doing what you're doing, community is key in growing a message. It's key in growing someone's understanding of an importance behind a mission. And it's one of those things that you start by sharing with a few people in the community. And then you look back about a year later and there's all these people, you start with 5 and then all of a sudden you have 15, and then those 15 bring their community. And so really at the end of the day, community is just a way to get what you're up to out there in such a powerful way, and for you to connect with people in such a powerful way.
Yeah. Why is community important for you in terms of connecting with like-minded people?
I mean, this is my life,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And being connected with like-minded people grows that exponentially as well. Really, I would say community is not a tool, but it's a catalyst for connecting with, discovering, and sharing with like-minded people. And I think it is really the people you surround yourself with. And I know you know this, Chris, and you probably see this, frequently. Those people really affect your existence, your experiences. Their positivity will affect your positivity, the way you feed off of each other in terms of, what are you up to? I'm excited about that. How can I support you? You support each other. Yeah. And that's really why it is important. That's why I love that aspect of FFB, because they they promote community as well. We do the vision walk every year, but in between that, there are science talks with our doctors, and we have these socials that we invite everyone out to get some coffee. And sometimes we don't talk about fundraising or, what's going on with your latest clinical trial, because community and people just want to be around each other sometimes and connect in a different way. So, yeah.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. I love community myself, and we're building community here at the Ideas Matter Having Fun show, and it's so important. And I know we are going to be a part of a specific community this Saturday with the Vision Walk, and I'm super excited about that. So you mentioned it earlier. Let's dive into that a little bit more. Tell us more about it and what's happening with it and why we're doing it.
Oh, of course. I'm biased and so excited about it. So the Vision Walk is in its 12th year in Orange County. So it's been in existence for 12 years annually, and some really incredible people started this walk. They experienced a walk in another area of the U.S. and said, well, why can't we bring this into our own backyard? And so they went for it. They reached out to FFB. They, reached out to the visually impaired community and said, we want to rally around this, and we need leaders to make any of this happen. And so from that point forward, they started to really do some grassroots outreach to share their stories with their schools, with the teachers, with the community members. And at that time, the walk was just starting to grow. So we have had it for the last, I believe, 5 to 6 years at Angel Stadium. And we super love the location. Everyone gets excited about it. We connect there kind of as a celebration. So what's really happening this Saturday is a celebration of the over 500 people who have been involved in fundraising, in the mission this year. They've spread the word about the socials. They've invited their friends and family. And it's just going to be such a fun day. And we have some really incredible opportunities to share with our community why it's so important the day of the walk. We share the mission. We do thank our sponsors. We've made a lot of new partnerships this year in Orange County with Johnson & Johnson Vision and AcuFocus, and, our national sponsorships have grown. And so really at the walk, everyone gets to experience all of that together. Because you can know that you have a sponsor when you look on a website, but to get to interact with them in person and to have an honorary chair come and speak on why they're supporting really gives people a whole other sense of, okay, it's not just me fighting this battle by myself. I have community, businesses and family and friends right here, physically in front of me at this walk. And that's probably, I think, the moment that gives me goosebumps is when we're all at the starting line and we're under the balloon arch and the drums are going and we're counting down, and you just stop for a minute and you see all of these people who just are incredible, and they're just together, fighting and walking and putting their foot down for something that really matters. So it's going to be an incredible day. I am so biased and I cannot wait.
And then what's the outcome of the day that is so celebratory? I know we were talking about it earlier. What's going to be the difference that's made from the event or all the efforts leading up to the event? Absolutely.
There's a couple things. So speaking from the community experience, it's that the community experiences each other. That's a huge win. The only reason to have an event like this is to give people something to miss and to have them carry the mission with them, to have them understand that we are continually working on the cures, treatments and preventions, that they will move forward with the science. We come away, we have a goal every year. And so this year it's $115,000 to raise. And so we push to raise as much as we can every year. And so at the walk, it's kind of that like, there's like a little bit of a firework when everyone sees where we're at, what can we do together on this day? And then they have until June 30th to continue to fundraise. So from a fundraising standpoint, it's like a collective celebration for everyone, especially as teams. We give out awards that day, which are they're so fun. They're silly. And it's a way to really highlight when people go for it. We have like the Rookie of the Year award, which is when our new teams kind of go for it. They have the Spirit Award. Top fundraiser gets a silly, awesome cape that people covet and fight over. It's a good time. And really for our sponsors to get the recognition that is really deserved for supporting our events year after year. We're having a very special award for one of them, the day of the walk. So everyone receives acknowledgement that day. We all get recharged. It's like recharging your batteries. Because, it's been like 9 months of serious fundraising and having a lot of fun along the way. And then also reviewing the year in like what's developed. We have a couple challenges. It's a day of health. It's a really great time. So that's kind of all the outcomes that day are really experiential, I would say, and are fundraising based.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an epic event. I'm so excited, and I'm going to be emceeing it. I don't know if we mentioned that, but I'm going to be emceeing it, and you guys are going to help me co-run it. It's your guys' event. I'm there to like help you with it and help run it, but it's going to be a blast, and I'm so excited for everybody who's out there watching. Definitely come out to Anaheim Stadium, Angel Stadium in Southern California this Saturday, and the walk starts at 9 or so.
Yeah, they want to get there about 8:30. It'll start around 9.
Okay, beautiful.
So around noon.
Yeah, it'll go till about noon. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm curious, Kathy, what does it take to bring together a team, an all-star team, to make the event work effectively, to have it go off as a success?
What does it take to bring together an all-star team?
Mm-hmm.
So definitely getting your feet into the community. Mm-hmm. It starts with one person. And our chapter president, Randy Wechter, she's been there since the beginning.
Wow.
So she's incredible. She is a catalyst for the growth of Orange County. And she started this walk with a group of different people that were leading, 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. They put their time in, they gave and gave. And then, they had their experiences with family or business. They recruited other leaders. And so it's a very natural cycle of people step up. And it takes a comfortable space for us as leaders to invite and talk to other leaders about getting involved. So without our committee, which we have about 7 leaders, plus FFB staff that really put this event together to grow. And for instance, they come together as a group and make calls to ophthalmologists and optometry places and share, like, did you know this is the biggest vision-oriented event in Orange County? And there's a lot of people who don't even know that we exist. And so that is really what leadership looks like, and what it takes to bring a team together is that they would experience bringing awareness to other people together. And some of our leadership has different skill sets. One of our committee members, he left for the UK, but we had this really great conversation. His name's Bryson. And he said, I want to go for it before I leave. And I said, well, what would that even look like? What does that mean? He's like, I want to bring in some significant, income for this event and maybe a new sponsor. I said, awesome. So, he made his plan, he put it to action, he went for it. And we had a couple new relationships, a couple new sponsors come about. Wow. And a group of new people we had never interacted with because someone said, well, I'm the person to do this. And he did not care how many times he heard no. No is just a response. It really doesn't mean anything. It's just not yet sometimes, or maybe next year, or come back next week. It just depends. But yeah, it takes a team of people, really great people. And there's a lot of really great people out there. And so we just keep our eyes peeled, we listen, we share. That's really one of the things that is key in building these teams of leaders. And you have to acknowledge and give leaders the space to get to know each other. They're not just, especially volunteers, this is not their job. This is something they do from the goodness of who they are. And to give that much time and attention and to really care and to have that willingness to share no matter where you are is really incredible.
So it sounds like you attract people who just love giving of themselves and who love making a contribution, who love making a difference. And I'm curious, is there any specific places you look to find these top level people that stand out or are willing to give so much or willing to be of so much service or are just incredible performers?
So it's so different in each market. Sometimes you meet incredible people through networking. Like you'll just connect with, a doctor. Like for instance, in Washington, we had this doctor who came to one of our conferences and he spoke with us and was just incredible. And he said, aren't I in one of the states that you have a vision walk? And we said, well, yeah. And he said, okay, well, I think I want to get involved and I haven't been approached. And it was like this whole world opened up in Washington from that one little conversation. Whereas in, for Orange County, we have some incredible members that are affected or they have family that are affected. And so we start with sharing with them, who do you know? And, some people know other influential people in the community through the businesses that they are associated with. And so they'll pull on that relationship, and pull an ear and say, have you heard of this? Do you want to get involved? And so it's really, I would say there is no formula to it. And if you don't ask and you don't share, then it's already no. It's not going to happen.
Wow. So you got to put yourself out there.
Yeah. And that's really the fun part. I would say, Randy and I have had some really incredible days where, we'd have these great meetings and maybe there was a cancellation. So we took that hour to, by zip code almost, we highlight the areas in which we haven't touched before. And so we would go out and just share with people we had never shared before, or shared with about the vision walk before. And that was some of the most organic, off the cuff conversation. And that's really what you have to do sometimes, and then other times it's as simple as asking, who do you know, with the people that you meet. So, but we look for people of all, in any place in their life. If they have a passion for volunteerism, for leadership, if they're looking to grow and develop, then we invite people to take a look. And, sometimes they find that this is a place where they can really grow in their leadership and affect a really great cause.
How have you grown from putting on this event?
Ooh, I feel like my heart gets bigger. I really, you get this, there are those moments where you're like in the nitty gritty, and you're planning the event. Really at the end of the day, all that stuff doesn't matter because you can do logistics till your, eyes pop out of your head. But I think my level of being with people and connecting with them and listening to them has changed and grown. And I feel that in a professional sense, I walked in with some level of, I can't ask these people for that. It's too high a level. And I would say with my FFB has some incredible people. And with those colleagues, I saw them make some really I think bold request is the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Some very bold requests. And I realized, if I removed the thought that anything was too big, then where would I go? And that's kind of where we've been in most of our events. It's the what if question. If you had this event in any kind of way, would it be a walk? Would you add another fundraiser? Is this the right event space? Have we thought about this, or are we just doing it because this is what we've done? And so I've really gotten a fine tuning for what gives people something to miss, because you need that as a human being. That experience sticks with you. And the sky is literally the limit. And you can do so many things in terms of things like this interaction. We've never done something like this, and we're so excited to be part of it, Chris. And, thinking differently about how you connect with people, and are we connecting with people in the way that works for them? Not necessarily having people fit your event, have your event fit the people that it's there for. So those have been some really great lessons. And also, I would say the biggest takeaway was asking the people that are high influencers that for their feedback continually. Not just like a check-in after the event, like, what are your thoughts about everything else? And feedback is really, really key. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I know in our conversation, we were bouncing some more ideas off of each other earlier. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah. So there's always room for growth and innovation, and especially when you bring someone onto the team who's, let's say, newer, who hasn't been a part of it, you have kind of a blank canvas to say, all right, so with what I've shared a little bit about the event, like what would you think of at this point, without the history of being with the event, putting on the event, and you get that fresh perspective and fresh set of eyes. It's very, very valuable.
Right. Absolutely. It's so true.
Yeah. Awesome. And then in terms of growing this event, how do you see things being different next year? Is there any hints that you can give us, or, do you want to see what's going to happen after this event and you guys are going to do reflecting? What's your process for making next year's event even better?
So this is perfect. Is we've had, I can't share who, but we've had some conversations about one of our newer partners being interested in leading a event of their own that supports the Orange County Vision Walk. So like another sort of upscale fundraiser that would support the whole effort. And they're willing to take that on and take a look and lead it. And so our first inclination was, that's amazing. Of course, we're going to say, let's have this conversation. Let's look at what we can do, what's possible. How would it be? Like, if you had this opportunity to make it whatever you wanted, what would it look like? So we have some promising things coming up for next year that we're really excited about. And to improve on this year's event, I would say this year's event has grown in what it provides in experience. We have a number more people registered this year than we did last year. So in terms of like the growth indicators, we're really excited because we're going to have more new faces. Those are people we can connect with that we want to really make a lasting impact with.
Got a question real quick. Was there any specific marketing efforts that provided to that growth in numbers, or is it mainly just people sharing about it, how they had such a good time last year?
So it was definitely people, is a great question. It was definitely people sharing about it. And we started a Survey Monkey. We did a feedback form before we started planning the walk this year. And we had some different feedback from the teams that said, we're curious about the committee. We've never, had the opportunity, or maybe we just missed the opportunity to step up. Is it too late? And we said, no, absolutely not. And through those new committee members and relationships, they had their own connections.
Wow.
And so really looking at a person as a whole, they have a whole community around them. So when we interact with one new member, it's not just what can you singularly do on your own. It's the who do you know question. And so that is a source of marketing. Also, whenever we have a sponsorship, we took on asking, do you have media connections? Do you know anyone with a newspaper? Do you have anyone who could get us a radio spot? We asked for underwriting to be on the Big A at the Angel Stadium. And those are all marketing pieces. And if you don't think to ask, again, it's already not going to happen. Some of them said no. One of them said, that is such a great idea. And, we put our ads in and we could add a little, hey, don't forget the vision walk is happening. And so we had a lot more, I would say a lot more new eyeballs this year. And, some of our teams are taking, a pause. They had like families or weddings. And so to see growth, even when you are missing a team or two because they're doing live, is a really good indicator. So next year, it should boost that even more. And I would say we are rigorous in putting our event on the city calendars, asking chamber if they know anyone who does advertisement. They typically do. And so those are really good outlets for any media or marketing exposure that really helped us.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. So making this the best event ever is both of our commitments, and we're going to have a lot of fun this Saturday. It's going to be seriously so much fun. Again, for everybody who's just tuning in, Anaheim Stadium, there's a 5K walk happening this Saturday starting at about 9 a.m. Get there at 8:30, and it's going to go till about noon. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can sign up and register there, and it will be a blast. So, Kathy, last minute words of wisdom that you want people to walk away with, going into this upcoming week, or that you've learned, or just anything you feel inspired to share?
Yeah. The power of your thoughts is incredible. And really that truly speaks, especially the last couple weeks before a walk happens. You get into this place where it's like, well, why not? We're only a few weeks out. It's enough time. And you really just go for it. And if I could offer anything, it's to take a look at what you think about something and then choose a different thought and see what happens. Like, choose something else. If you feel like you are stopped, talk to a mentor, talk to one of your partners, talk to someone else in the community and see what they think about it. And always look for those solutions in the sense of who you know and how they influence. And never be afraid to ask, because you don't know when it's going to be a yes. And that has been the year for Orange County, for the whole committee to experience the beauty and the power of asking and sharing. Sharing was huge, and just so different this year that it's really impacted things in their growth, and it's been incredible. So, and I just want to invite everybody to come, obviously, to join us this weekend, and to thank you, Chris. Thanks for being, such a supporter. Thanks for being there the day with your energy. And this has been a really incredible experience for us to share with you as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm learning a lot. You guys are teaching me a lot, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. And then how can people stay connected with Foundation Fighting Blindness and you, if you want people to stay connected with you as well?
Absolutely. People can reach out to me at any time. I don't know if there's an email or phone number up, but I can share that information.
Yep.
Please call me. My work cell phone is 818-518-4449. Or if you go to blindness.org, that is the Foundation Fighting Blindness main website. You can also check out the Orange County Vision Walk site. If you want to register, you can call me to register, or you can go visit the website, which is fightblindness.org/Orange County Vision Walk. So I invite everybody to come. It's going to be so good.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, there's going to be a ton of footage. I'm so excited to have a video crew out there, both producing stuff for me, and then we're going to give you guys that as well, whatever we can come up with, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, Kathy, thank you so much for coming on today, and I look forward to chopping up this interview and getting it to you so you can use it hopefully in the next couple days as well. Like, I'll get it to you by tomorrow, but you can use it in the next tomorrow and then Friday, all that good stuff.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate it. This is such a blast.
Awesome. It's getting even more fun all the time. Awesome, Kathy. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks.
All right. See ya.